Hi everybody, welcome to Microgreen 101, where we're going to explain to you kind of what a microgreen is and how you use them. I'm personally going to go do some holiday shopping today. I'm more of hands-off on the microgreens. I make sure that we have the seeds and that the inventory for the orders is there. So I'm going to hand you over to my husband Justin, and he's going to show you and tell you what a microgreen is. Over to you, Justin.
Thanks, Amber. The microgreens become an important part of many people's diet, becoming quite a staple food with many of the things they eat. But you may be wondering, why is that? And exactly what is a microgreen? So essentially a microgreen is what it sounds like. It's a small plant, and the plant is harvested at that small stage to maximize nutrient density. So how does that happen? So everything comes from a seed, and you can see here in this one tiny seed that I have in my hand. This one, for example's sake, is the radish microgreen, which we can see in the back here. It contains all the energy, all the minerals, nutrients, everything that it needs for that plant to germinate up out of the ground and get started towards growing into a large plant. So when it emerges and comes up into its dicotyledon stage, which is when it forms out those first two small leaves, that small plant contains all those nutrients, all those vitamins, minerals, everything in that small plant. So you will harvest the plant at that stage to maximize nutrient density within that plant. Now, the idea with a microgreen isn't to just have a big pile of them on your plate and that be your dinner. It's used more widely as a supplement. You just add it to various dishes, salads, tops of your entrees. You can put it in wraps. You can put it, some people put it on tops of soups. You know, the possibilities are endless. And what you're aiming for is just taking this nutrient-dense microgreen and adding it to the dishes that you already eat as sort of a supplement to increase your nutrient intake into the foods that you're already eating. And they're a really quick and simple way to add large amounts of nutrients to dishes, and you can get multiple different flavor profiles depending on what it is you wanted to get. So like beside me here, I have a starting of pea shoots. So if you like peas and you like that sweet pea flavor, it can be an added crunch to, say, a salad or the right kinds of soups or whatever else it would be that you'd want to put it in. If you like more of that zing, that spice flavor with the crunch, you could go with, say, the radish microgreen. Many people who have grown or go to a farmer's market and want to get arugula can find that a lot of times arugula is a difficult one to find. It's a really finicky plant to grow throughout the warm months here in Indiana. So we've found that we will just grow arugula microgreen, because in our controlled environment here in our field office, we can do microgreen arugula all year long. So anyone who likes that arugula flavor to, say, like put on a burger or a sandwich, or they just like arugula in their salads, it's an excellent way to get that spicy arugula flavor, get the nutrients that come with arugula any time of the year, and we can get you outside of that seasonality. So how exactly do we do it? So as you can see behind us, we have multiple trays. I'm gonna bring you in a little bit, since speaking of the arugula. So this right here is an arugula tray, and you can see they're very densely planted. Every one of the seeds, just like any plant, they require different densities for growing. Some like to be really close, others like to be a little bit further apart. So you seed that accordingly, and then when you seed it, you cover it up in complete darkness for a few days, and what it'll do is it will sort of, as you can see, sort of form the plant to be kind of leggy, where it gets real tall. If you've ever grown a plant in your window, you stick it up just next to the light, you may often notice a lot of times that the plant will curve a bit and get real long and leggy, like it's trying to go toward the light. And that plant doesn't necessarily work out so well as far as growing outside, but in the conditions such as growing microgreens, that's exactly what you want to do. You want it to get a little bit taller for two reasons. One, it can increase your yield so you can get a larger amount off of a cutting. And two, it does make it much easier to cut because you end up with this long stem that's easier to get underneath it with your knife or your scissors and harvest that off. I hope this was a good introduction to microgreens and a little bit of an explanation as to how they work. I thank you for your time, and Amber, back to you.
Thanks, Justin. Hopefully that answers some of your questions about what a microgreen is and how you could possibly use them. As always, remember, if you like this kind of content, like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you later. Bye, guys.